spotlight on Balrampur Chini because the company did come out with a very strong set, and of late we have been seeing sweet gains on the stock price as well. But what is the outlook going ahead? What kind of a growth that the company is targeting? Let's try to decode that with Avantika Saraogi, who is the ED of Balrampur Chini Mills, joining us on the show right now. Hi, very good morning and thank you so much for your time. Firstly, when I look at your numbers, looks like a solid set because both on a sequential as well as on a YY basis, the top line has seen a good growth, margins at 24%. But healthy margin performance, we believe that it was led by healthy performance in your sugar division, although there was pressure in distillery margins. What is the outlook, Avantika, going ahead? For H1 FY26, what kind of a growth number that we are working with?
So good morning. Thank you for having me on the show. So for H1, again, for sugar, I think everybody who talks from the side of sugar would say that we shouldn't look at sugar on a quarter to quarter or from a half year to half year basis. Sugar is an annual sort of commodity to look at because our sugar season ends in about May and our financial year ends in March. So the beginning of the financial year is actually just the tail end of the previous season gone by. So it is always a very jaded way of looking at it. I don't think that we should be giving that kind of guidance, but it will be pretty obvious considering that our crushing has remained pretty much flat, I would say 1.75% lower than last year. So based on quantity, the volumes will not increase. But having said that, we are carrying a sugar inventory of 7.5 lakh ton, priced at 35.5 rupees. But today the selling price of sugar is 41 rupees. So the sugar segment is again looking good. But as you rightly pointed out, there is pressure on the distillery side. The volumes will be good this time of the distillery side, but the pricing, as you know, since the last 2 years, the government has not revised the ethanol price for juice-based ethanol and also B-heavy ethanol, while the FRP has increased twice. So, that segment will remain muted until the government does come out with a fresh ethanol pricing and link it to FRP, which was always the case since 2018 to 2023. It was never a conversation. So.
Good morning, Avantika. Cheryl also joining in the conversation. And you did speak about the domestic sugar prices, and you did mention the fact that it is around that 41 rupees per kg mark. Just wanted to get your sense, given the fact that you are a formidable player in the industry, are we likely to see the sugar prices heading higher in coming months? And also, what will that mean for your business? Will that aid the sugar business profitability further?
So I don't see a very significant, hike coming up, but the prices should remain strong. This is what I can say. We are holding a very, very good stock. I think it should work out well for the next few months. Let's put it like this on the sugar side.
Avantika, just also wanted to get your sense on the distillery business as well, because the realizations have remained a little subdued. But do you expect the distillery margins to remain under pressure in FY26, or rather, are you penciling in some bit of an improvement there? Or if you can just give us some sense that what factors could be at play when it comes to this segment?
So that's a great question. I think that I speak for the industry as well when I say this. So see, we are governed a lot by how the government behaves. So our sugarcane price is set by the FRP and the SAP and UP, and the ethanol price is also set by the OMCs via the government route. And I think it only and only is waiting for the revision of the ethanol price, which is commensurate to the rise in the FRP which they have done. So they have actually increased the input cost, but they have not set the new ethanol price as they should have according to the formula which was prevailing. So that is the only thing which is not perfect as of now. But other than this, in terms of performance, in terms of operational efficiencies, in terms of raw material and things like that, what they had put a stop in the amount of ethanol you can make, all that is absolutely gone and normal, and those barriers are totally lifted.
give us some sense that are you penciling in or looking forward to a hike there? And if yes, then what is the likelihood of that flowing in the first half of FY26? Any revisions expected within this timeline?
So usually the timeline would kick in the start of the new ethanol season. So that would probably hit in H2, not H1 of FY26. Because this is the cane we have already crushed, which is on the previous year, as I was trying to say as well. So from the November season onwards, H2 it should hit. We do expect that the government will, do a linkage to the FRP, because it is only logical that if they are forcing an increase in the input cost, then they must handle the output of that on the buying side if it is in their hands. We are also making representations through ISMA. We are having very good conversations with all the relevant ministries, and we do expect that this time they should do something about it.
Let me move on then. Let's understand what's the progress on your latest PLA foray, that is your polylactic acid foray. Are you on track for it to be commissioned by Q3 of FY27? And also, if I could add to that, if you could help us understand how much revenue will the company aim to generate once that plant is commissioned in FY27?
So again, my favorite subject. So I'll just explain a little bit because many of the viewers don't know. But PLA is a bioplastic. It is made from sugar and it is totally compostable under industrial compost conditions. So with heat and humidity, it sort of goes away in about 90 days. This is what the product is, and it is bio-based, which is great. That means that it is not based on fuel coming from millions of years old, but on renewable fuels, which is what makes it 68 to 70% lower carbon footprint than a regular plastic. Now coming to the project, it's progressing absolutely as per schedule. We should be absolutely on point in terms of timing. Revenue should be revenue. We've already given guidance. It should be around 2,000 crores of annual turnover at 100% capacity. Though we will take, I think, some time to ramp up to 100% since it's a new business for us. I would probably say that will probably hit the balance sheet of FY28, not FY27, because by the time we get in, it's already Q3, few months to sort of put things together. The major impact should come in FY28.
So like you said, FY28, when you will likely see the massive or major impact of this sort of a foray coming in, given the fact that, yes, it will take time for you to ramp up to the 100% capacity. But help me understand, will this be catering only to domestic market? And also, if you could help us understand, how is the competitive landscape in this segment currently?
So I'll answer the second question first. So we are going to be the first producers of this of bioplastics at an industrial scale in the country. So in terms of production, in terms of domestic competition, there is none for us. But being the first mover is the competition of its own, which is something we're already tackling. So we've already started seeding the market, doing experiments, and working with brands, with compounders, with converters who have already started using a product which we are at the moment importing and selling. So this is going also very well. We're seeing a very good response. I think the country is actually ready to move towards a greener future. This is what I can tell from all the discussions and conversations that we've been having. So which is absolutely great. And sorry, what was the first part of the question?
And are you going to only be catering to the domestic market, or what's your game plan with regards to that?
So we would like to cater to the domestic market, because if I am making a green product and then I'm shipping it out using all of that fuel, it's not as green anymore. But having said that, as a direct export, I wouldn't even think that it would happen. I think as one value add more should happen in the country, and it will, like either a compounding or a conversion step, and then it could be exported. So like the final user could be outside of the country, but as Balrampur, we would be mostly selling domestically. So I'll just highlight to make you understand what that means. So for example, if a bottle is being made from PLA, most likely the granules would at least be made into the pre-form, which could then go to any part of the world to be blown into a bottle and then filled with juice or water or like whatever. So that kind of value addition also, I think, should happen in the country. Lot of plastic flows into the country to be compounded and converted even now, before it is exported out to other countries, especially Europe, for usage. So this would just fit into that system.
Avantika, but just to follow up there with respect to your PLA foray, though it's still some time away to actually start contributing in your top line, and I believe that you are targeting a margin of over 30% in this particular segment. But by that time, Avantika, do you believe that the realizations will hold up? Because internationally, there were some reports suggesting that the realizations come at about $2.5 to $3 a kg, and industry trends just highlight that it has been coming off. So from 2 years down the line, do you believe that this will actually hold on?
So again, very good question. While I cannot predict the future uh, perfectly, but I should think that a $2.5 to $3, something in between that should hold. Our capacity is the global level capacity. It's about 80,000 tons. Most of the large players are 75,000 tons. So, it cannot come off beyond a point, I don't think, especially if input prices, for example, corn prices or sugar prices will go up. There is a limit to how much it can come off and for how long. So, I don't see this as a threat, especially, 2 years down the line. It is totally impossible for anybody to predict. I don't think anyone could have predicted the raw sugar prices, even what they have been today 2 years ago. So I could be wrong, but I don't feel a threat when I see it. When I see 2 years down the line.
All right, Avantika, so good having you on the show today. We know that you are very positive and you're all in for that PLA foray. But thank you so much for taking the time out and speaking with us, and all the very best for the upcoming earnings.
Thank you. Thank you so much.